Kia ora tātou.
Welcome to the God Talk leadership videos.
You're going to love this series, and we're going to start this series off by talking about what the Christian mission is.
Jesus defined our mission clearly in Matthew 28, where he said, "Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you." There is some important information in these verses. Firstly, the words "to go" speak about a willingness to get out of your comfort zone. It then defines the mission as making disciples. This is the key instruction. But of who? Of all peoples. The scope is global. Everyone we know and don't know who is yet to be reached.
Jesus then defines it a little more, saying firstly that we are to baptize people who respond, which logically means we must first share the message so they can have the opportunity to respond.
And secondly, we are to teach them not only what Jesus' teachings are, but to obey them, which means we need to meet with people to discuss the Bible in a context of encouragement, openness, sharing, and support.
And that's our mission. The main thing we are to do as individuals, as youth ministries, as local churches, and as churches together in our cities and towns.
We are to make disciples out of people who are not yet disciples.
Now, your youth ministry exists for more than just outreach, but outreach is undeniably the primary mission once we know Christ ourselves. For example, the various purposes of our churches are sometimes summarized under 5 words: worship, fellowship, discipleship, ministry, and evangelism.
Worship.
This is about encouraging a person's personal relationship with God.
Fellowship.
It's about encouraging our caring for each other as a community of believers.
Discipleship.
It's the learning component, through listening to teachings, reading books, and discussing these things together.
Ministry.
It's about using our gifts and abilities to make the world a better place.
And finally, evangelism.
Yeah. It's about telling others about what it means to know and follow God.
Too right.
And all 5 of these things are legitimate purposes for all of our churches and youth ministries. However, one of these is not like the others, and it is evangelism, because it is a completely different category. It's not just one purpose among many. To make disciples out of non-disciples is our mission.
Now, a key area of confusion in all this is the relationship between our mission and the various good works we might do. I mean, if I care for the poor and help the needy people, am I achieving our mission? William Booth, the founder of Salvation Army, summed it up well when he said, "If you want to give a hungry man a gospel booklet, put it between 2 pieces of bread." You see, the gospel message of God's love is the main thing, but we can't separate it from our good works. For example, imagine if I gave a hungry man a gospel booklet while I was eating a sandwich. That would be dumb, right? But what if I gave him the sandwich but failed to give him the gospel booklet? While we might feel good and he'd be grateful, I suggest that this is actually unloving and would have failed in our mission. The man would have food for the day, but would still be headed for eternity without God.
For example, imagine a group of people meeting in a room are hungry, and I become aware that the building they are in has just caught on fire.
Okay.
So I run up the stairs to their room and then feed them, because telling them the building is on fire and that they have to leave would be too dramatic and uncomfortable for me to say. That wouldn't be loving, would it?
You see, a lot of churches and youth ministries are absorbed in social work, helping people through their troubles. And this is good, because God cares about all of this. But we must not forget that the most important thing is knowing God personally. If people do not receive His forgiveness, they remain eternally separated from God. And that forgiveness is offered as a free gift.
Additionally, if we are trying to help people struggling with brokenness and various emotional challenges, the fact is that Jesus is the greatest solution that exists for these things also. In fact, Christianity is well known for its unique ability to help people overcome internal troubles and to find hope. Many churches are filled with these testimonies.
So to summarize, making Jesus known is our mission. As individuals, as youth ministries, as local churches, and as churches together in our cities and in a nation, let's not forget this.
While our youth groups and churches are social places, they are not just social clubs. While we must care for people's physical needs, we have a mission, and it's the main reason we exist.
A foundation is laid.
Now we can build upon it.